Well, this year's been fast, hasn't it? Welcome back to Hexbots Heat O, the final heat of Series 4. Last time we saw the onslaught of Flippy and Hardware make it to the tournament, and Ragnarok finally making it to a tournament for once in its life in the third place Desperado tournament, leaving Heartburst, Redux, and Mantis out of here. This time we've saved the best robots for last. The runner-up of last year's championship, an updated machine, and two brand new channel robots coming into the mix. As well as another one from Series 2, but no one cares about them. But in any cases, let's get on to the lineup and let's start the heat. First, from Chicago, Illinois, Thunderstrike. Starting off in the final heat is Thunderstrike, the runners-up of last series champion. It's got the rapid fire flipper and a somewhat brand new light blue design. Strengths, its flipper stuck in rapid fire. However, weaknesses, controlling is a... From Villanova, Pennsylvania, Chaotic Doom. We enter Chaotic Doom. Yeah, there's not really much to say with Chaotic Doom. They haven't really been in a tournament at all recently. It's got the chain spinner. Strengths, the face, I love it. However, weaknesses, it's extremely uncontrollable. From Edmonton, Canada, Icebreaker. Icebreaker has had a massive overhaul this season. Now with a brand new spinner that should hopefully hit 57 times as hard as it should. Strengths, it's got a very good drive and a brand new weapon. However, weaknesses, it doesn't have a self-rider. Like why? From Oakland, California, Gravestone. Yes, we have Gravestone. He may not have done well in the recent New Blood tournament, but it looks like here he's meant to have a lot of promise. Strengths, it will bury you alive. However, weaknesses, it doesn't entirely lift that well, which is unfortunate. And from Fairport, New York, Toxic Drake. Lastly is a champion of the recent New Blood tournament in Toxic Drake. It's got the flipper, and it will demolish you. Well, not really, that's Zinger. Strengths, it's perfect for ground game. However, weaknesses, the flipper's stuck in rapid fire. To kick off the final heat, we have in the blue square, Thunderstrike, and the red square, Chaotic Doom. Chaotic Doom hasn't had the most fun with lifters and flippers in the recent era, but hopefully it could come back with this. But he's having a really tough opponent this time in the runners-up of the last championship being Thunderstrike. With a brand new paint scheme and, well, nothing entirely new, it's still back the same as ever. But let's see how they do in the box one last time. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. Chaotic Doom up to speed, getting out of the way as Thunderstrike rams into the wall. As we all know, it takes forever for him to turn. Well, if you're new here, there's a new daily fact. You learn something new every day. Anyways, Thunderstrike trying to move. Chaotic Doom circling around, now giving him a little shunt with his back as Thunderstrike flips over Chaotic Doom, and I guess it could be it for Chaotic Doom. Thunderstrike just going in for seconds now. Could they maybe get him out of the arena? They want to go a full undefeated like they did last year and managed to make the finals. However, lost to Gorilla in the finals as Chaotic Doom is back up. It continues to spin up to speed. I feel like that would have been a perfect opportunity for Thunderstrike to get a win. But now they have a good hold of Chaotic Doom and almost suplex him, but Chaotic Doom gets free. It spins back up to speed. Nice work there for Chaotic Doom to get off of Thunderstrike before things get worse. The Thunderstrike is trying to turn now, or is it just stuck in place? It was just stuck in place for a moment. Anyways, ooh, a nice little flip by Thunderstrike, twisting and turning Chaotic Doom around as it's trying to get its flail spinner up to speed. It may not do much, Chaotic Doom, but once it's being effective, it actually can work. Even though it hasn't really made a tournament at all in its 3 years of making the series. Anyways, Thunderstrike is trying to push around Chaotic Doom. Chaotic Doom is trying to spin up to speed. Remember, 2 robots go to the tournament, 1 to the 3rd place Desperado tournament, and the last 2 will go down in style. Who will it be? I'm betting a lot on Thunderstrike to make the tournament, because I definitely see them as being a dark horse of the series, as Thunderstrike gets around to the side of Chaotic Doom as Chaotic Doom is trying to get free. It's
kind of simple, really, but they've just been flipped over by Thunderstrike, and I guess that's going to be it. Thunderstrike takes the first 3 points, and well, there goes Chaotic Doom out of the arena.
Well, that was a good first fight to kick things off. Thunderstrike immediately shoots himself with 3 points and Chaotic Doom with nothing. Anyways, now for the second fight in the blue square, one of the first few channel robot fights that'll happen in the blue square is Icebreaker from Icebreaker Robotics and Gravestone in the red from Hexbot Wars. This will be a pretty good fight, and I know it, as Icebreaker's been vastly improved with a new weapon and weapon system, and hopefully it should be better than ever. Hopefully he can go up against easy against Gravestone. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the battle begin. Icebreaker up to speed. Gravestone gets a hold of Icebreaker. And whoa! Icebreaker's out of the arena, and Gravestone is gonna win.
That fight was way too fast. Even I couldn't even comprehend it. I could literally just sum it up here longer than the fight. So, Icebreaker got up to speed. He got clipped by Gravestone and was, like, kicked into the screws, and he got out of the arena thanks to Gravestone. So, congrats to Hexbot Wars for winning against Icebreaker. So, yeah. Anyways, next up at the blue square is Chaotic Doom, and the red square, Toxic Drake. Toxic Drake is going to have a field day with Chaotic Doom, and I know it. In any cases, let's get on with the fight. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the battle begin. Sorry about that. Chaotic Doom up to speed. Toxic Drake just moving around. We know Chaotic Doom has been here longer, but Toxic Drake is actually a recent champion. If I had a nickel every time there was a New Blood tournament and a channel robot won, I'd have 3 nickels, which is extremely funny. Anyways, Toxic Drake is, it looks like it's stuck for a moment, although it's coming in and completely misses Chaotic Doom. I don't know if they're tempted to get a good flip on Chaotic Doom, as Chaotic Doom is just stuck near the screws, as Toxic Drake is trying to maybe wait for Chaotic Doom, as Chaotic Doom just circles away, but Toxic Drake is trying to find an opportunity, and Toxic Drake waiting, trying to bait Chaotic Doom almost, and now it's got a hold, and it flips Chaotic Doom. Well, I don't know what Chaotic Doom were thinking when they just bomb rushed into Toxic Drake, but they're up and over, and Toxic Drake get 3 points. What a win for the champ.
Well, that was pretty anticlimactic. Toxic Drake manages to flip Chaotic Doom after some horrendous drive trouble, and well, I guess he also goes through with Gravestone and Thunderstrike. Anyways, we have our next fight, Thunderstrike, as he goes up against Icebreaker. Hopefully, Icebreaker can actually lock in right now. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the battle begin. Icebreaker up to speed. Thunderstrike slowly but surely being able to move. A good hit there by Icebreaker. And another one. Icebreaker said they were newly updated to the series. However, they were like promptly chucked by Gravestone, as the top bucket of Thunderstrike comes loose and now is just being pinned to the arena side wall, and it looks like they're stuck for a moment. Thunderstrike, as Icebreaker continuously bullies them into the back. That's a good hit there, but it looks like the weapon just completely stopped or is stalling. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anyway. Icebreaker gets 3 points.
Well, I don't know what went wrong with Thunderstrike. Maybe he just like couldn't move or anything, but Icebreaker finally gets a knockout win. Anyways, next up is the next channel robot fight. It's between Robot Hell Combat Robotics and Hexbot Wars, with Toxic Drake in the blue and Gravestone in the red. Without further ado, let's kick it off. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the battle begin. Toxic Drake fast out of the gate, and Gravestone managing to push back Toxic Drake. Already showing that Toxic Drake doesn't have the pushing power. Instead, it's Gravestone. However, Gravestone has something that Toxic Drake doesn't have. An actual working flipper. Because the lifter on Gravestone is pretty much good for just pushing robots, not really for lifting. But in Toxic Drake, that's where he comes in, as Toxic Drake is being pinned to the side wall and by the pulverizer by Gravestone, as they're pushing back Toxic Drake, as Toxic Drake moves out of the pulverizer and now tries to turn and maybe flip over, tries to flip over Gravestone as it has it near the screws, and they flip Gravestone over. Gravestone's having a tiring time trying to get back up, unless if Toxic Drake can flip him back over or they're out of the arena, as Toxic Drake trying to get him up into the screws, and they have him! They have him close! Toxic Drake, I think that both of them are stuck, as, oh, never mind, Gravestone is getting free! However, I think that both are stuck. We're gonna do him an unstick. Gravestone managing to avoid death. That's a great maneuver there by Gravestone, but now what can Toxic Drake do? It can maybe do it again, but obviously Gravestone can learn from its mistakes. And now, speaking of which, Gravestone has Toxic Drake on the screws, and Toxic Drake are out of the arena. What a comeback by Gravestone. Wow.
I don't know who fused Gravestone with steroids, but he's somehow winning. He now has 2 knockouts in a row against Icebreaker and Toxic Drake, and that's kind of funny. So Gravestone is winning the heat right now, as our next fight has Icebreaker and Chaotic Doom. 3, 2, 1, act.
Let the battle begin. A horizontal versus vertical spinner. The chain spinner of Chaotic Doom and the vertical disc of Icebreaker. However, it looks like Icebreaker has immediately broke its weapon. Okay, I wouldn't really say the weapon is broken. I think it's just the motor. You can see the motor on Icebreaker wiggling off. That is not a good start to Icebreaker. And what a shame, too. They were looking to be the top dog and possibly one of the greatest robots, like, redesigns ever with a brand new weapon. However, it looks like luck just isn't on their side this year. And what a shame, too. They were a top dog last year. As, well, they're doing some good pushing power, pushing back Chaotic Doom into the Pulverizer, even without an active weapon. Control and aggression still matter, as Chaotic Doom is just continues to being stuck in the arena, and Icebreaker just charging into Chaotic Doom, getting in some good control and aggression points. I think more just aggression points, because Chaotic Doom just won't even move at this point, as Chaotic Doom trying to wiggle itself free, but Icebreaker is right there to stop him, as they both go at it again. Chaotic Doom, looks like their chains were stuck for a moment. I don't know how Icebreaker could really win this fight. I guess maybe they can control Chaotic Doom because they do have the better pushing power. They can put him into the screws. They have him there, and they do so when Chaotic Doom is out. Icebreaker finally get 3 points.
Well, I actually don't know really what to say. Icebreaker's gonna have some fixing with their weapon just a moment or two, and yeah, while that's happening, we have our fight between Thunderstrike and Gravestone. Thunderstrike needs to get more points on the board. However, Gravestone could be in grave danger. Well, I don't really know. He's got 2 knockouts right now, but we'll have to see how he does against Thunderstrike. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the battle begin. Gravestone getting out of their box early, and Thunderstrike trying to get there to capitalize, as Gravestone manages to get 2 complete knockouts against Icebreaker and Toxic Drake. Let's see how they do against the runners-up of the last series in Thunderstrike. Thunderstrike trying to move, I don't really know. It's having a whole lot of control issues, especially with turning. I mean, they could use their flipper to move, and they use the flipper. However, I don't know if it's too little too late, because now Gravestone is just all up in them. Gravestone, I guess it's waiting for Thunderstrike to make a move so that it can make one too. I don't really know. Thunderstrike manages to correct himself thanks to the good sportsmanship of Gravestone, who's trying to pin them into the screws, or maybe just trying to do it to himself. I mean, that's not good. I mean, you have a tournament to win, and the last 2 slots are literally in your face. The last 2 slots are for the 3rd place bracket. Keep that in mind. Anyways, Thunderstrike so far with 3 points, a win against Chaotic Doom and a loss to Icebreaker. So let's see how they do to one of the other rookies in Gravestone. Gravestone just flips himself over, but he gets back up. What was Gravestone thinking there? And I think because of that, one side of their drive has been compromised. Well, I guess that's not good. Thunderstrike trying to go in for another flip, maybe. It may be trying to give Gravestone gymnastics lessons. That'd be extremely funny, because it looks like the bucket is just as heavy as the robot itself, and that's extremely funny. Anyways, Thunderstrike trying to get a flip onto Gravestone, but Gravestone is just trundling along like, nothing's happening. Their flipper goes up thanks to Thunderstrike. Can Thunderstrike take advantage of Gravestone's compromised drive? I don't really think so. As Gravestone, it's still pretty much moving. Again, we're going by the new rules of Battlebots where any drive counts. If you don't, then, well, you're dead. Maybe. I don't really know. Anyways, Thunderstrike trying to get an advantage. However, it can't really get the good angle to actually, align itself properly to flip Gravestone. However, it's trying to for a moment. Gravestone, there goes its bucket scoop again. However, Thunderstrike trying to get a good hold of him with the flipper. However, I don't really know. As we're going to a judge's decision. Thank God. I feel like this fight didn't really have any cool moments besides Gravestone doing a backflip. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've entered a judge's decision. We have a split decision. Judge 1 scored the battle for Gravestone. Judge 2 scored the battle for Thunderstrike. And Judge 3 scored the battle for the winner, Thunderstrike. Well, that was kind of unfortunate. I was definitely going to say Gravestone might win the fight because of how he keeps pushing Thunderstrike, but I guess that one lift at one point maybe had the judges' thoughts. I don't know. That's a very, very close fight in my opinion. Well, in any cases, Icebreaker is patched up after their fight with Chaotic Doom as they face Toxic Drake. It can only go either way on who wins, Icebreaker or Robot Hell. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let the battle begin. Icebreaker up to speed, charging at Toxic Drake. Another bot battle between Robot Hell Combat Robotics and Icebreaker Robotics. As it looks like Icebreaker is immediately having weapon trouble again, although it's getting back up to speed. Can it deliver some good hits onto Toxic Drake? It does, bending that front flipper of Toxic Drake. Maybe Toxic Drake should get that fixed, maybe with stronger material or something. Toxic Drake doing a little death spin for some reason. Icebreaker is still having a lot of issues with their weapon, and they have it back up to speed. Toxic Drake is trying to move. However, Icebreaker is getting up to speed and maybe trying to get Toxic Drake stuck. As ramming into the wall goes Icebreaker as it's going after Toxic Drake. A good hit by them to the back wheel of Toxic Drake and onto the side guard of Toxic Drake. So far, Icebreaker is doing very well right now in its last fight. Toxic Drake trying to get a flip, but they didn't really get a flip. Maybe some missed opportunity there by Toxic Drake. As Toxic Drake is being pushed into the screws by Icebreaker. Can Icebreaker get him out of the arena? I don't know. Toxic Drake, can they use their flipper? Yes, they can. Toxic Drake manages to escape death once again. But can they escape? I mean, I guess they can. Icebreaker is on his top. And I guess Icebreaker's going to go down with, 6 points, I think? Well, at least fair play to Icebreaker. They were okay in this heat, but they at least got somewhere. Toxic Drake gets 6 points. What a good fight for him.
At least this time, Toxic Drake was able to get some more points on the leaderboard at the cost of Icebreaker barely wanting to work. Well, Icebreaker finishes with 6 points. Not bad, although I'm not too sure if it will be enough for them to get to the tournament. But let's find out. As the next fight, we have Chaotic Doom, who's struggling to get points against Gravestone, who is somehow winning the heat. Well, let's get to the fight.
What do you know? Another highlighted fight. Well, this fight is Gravestone versus Chaotic Doom. This fight wasn't entirely interesting. It was just Gravestone just pushing Chaotic Doom.
There was a moment where Gravestone, like, actually pushed up Chaotic Doom into the screws at one point, which kind of gave the advantage to Gravestone. I mean, nonetheless, it was just Gravestone driving drunk and Chaotic Doom not knowing what the hell he was doing. But it got off the screws at one point. Yeah, this fight wasn't really that interesting. It did go to a judge's decision, and they awarded the fight to Gravestone. Well, we somehow saw the tyranny of Gravestone, like, completely ravage the entire heat, which was pretty funny. He finishes with 9 points, leaving Chaotic Doom to die with only 1. I mean, hey, he at least got something other than, like, Demo Derby or T-Rex a lot, which is kind of funny. Anyways, in the final fight of the last heat stage is Thunderstrike versus Toxic Drake. Now, let's get this clear. If Toxic Drake doesn't win by a knockout, he goes to the 3rd place Desperado tournament, Thunderstrike moves on, and Icebreaker is out. But if Toxic Drake could get a knockout, which hopefully will be likely, then Thunderstrike is out, Toxic Drake goes through, and Icebreaker goes through to the Desperado tournament. Without further ado, the pressure's on, and let's go to the final fight of the heat stage. Thunderstrike versus Toxic Drake. 3, 2, 1, action. Let the final fight of the heat stages begin. We have 2 flippers going at it. Toxic Drake versus Thunderstrike. Thunderstrike has been in the series longer than any of the others, and it made the final. Toxic Drake is also a champion of the New Blood tournament. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Toxic Drake managing to use their lifter at one point. It doesn't really look like Thunderstrike is having a whole lot of... not really having a good time trying to move. It's all just Toxic Drake pushing back Thunderstrike getting dangerously close to the screws thanks to Toxic Drake pushing him. As Toxic Drake is trying to push back Thunderstrike, maybe to hopefully get another 3 points. If so, it could secure them a tournament spot with Gravestone. And with Chaotic Doom being out and Icebreaker going to the Desperado tournament, well, we'll see. As Thunderstrike is trying to get out of there, I don't really know what Thunderstrike can really do right now. It's being pinned a whole lot by Toxic Drake. As Toxic Drake manages to flip over Thunderstrike, can they flip him out of the arena? Maybe this will be a monumental upset for the recent champion and last year's runner-up in Thunderstrike, but Thunderstrike manages to get free. Thunderstrike is now trying to get out of the side corner, but Toxic Drake is there to bash him into place. It gets another good flip on Thunderstrike, but I don't really know what Toxic Drake could really do right now, as Thunderstrike is having a bit of a tiring time trying to get out of there. Thunderstrike still firing away with the flippers, so is Toxic Drake. Toxic Drake manages to push back Thunderstrike away from the corner, and I was trying to get him up into the screws, but it looks like the back wheels of Toxic Drake are kind of detached. Maybe it was from the fight between him and Icebreaker, because it did land a good hit into the back wheels and now they came loose. Or maybe Thunderstrike managed to do damage. I don't really know. However, Toxic Drake is still very much controlling the fight right now, as it manages to flip Thunderstrike beforehand and continues to control him. As well, there goes the back wheels of Toxic Drake. I don't know if that really matters though, because even if it does go to a judge's decision, I feel like Toxic Drake could take the bag right now, because Thunderstrike isn't doing a whole lot right now, but they're on the screws. They're on the screws, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know if they can get back down. It's only a matter of time before Thunderstrike gets out. We're getting closer to a judge's decision. Can Toxic Drake take him out? Can he? He does! Just before the time was up. And what a final fight that was. Both were kind of straining toward the end, but at the end, just for clarification, it was a knockout by Toxic Drake. Just before the final second, Thunderstrike got dunked out of the arena thanks to Toxic Drake and the screws. No idea how they lost their wheels, but hey, they managed. Congratulations to the 2 channel robots, Gravestone and Toxic Drake, making it with 9 points. And Icebreaker thankfully lets out a big sigh of relief going into the 3rd place Desperado tournament. Speaking of which, next week will be that tournament. So get your calendars ready, and, well, you should be throughout this whole series. And we'll see you in the next one. Congratulations to Robot Hell Combat Robotics, MaxBot Wars, and Icebreaker Robotics for getting this far. We'll see you in the next one, whenever that'll be.